Hello again. It's still Saturday and I'm still down here at the warehouse. It's about 3 o'clock and trust me, this is probably the last time you're going to get a second video in one day. But it's the weekend, the busiest part of the festival, and I want to make sure you see these guys because their show is only up tonight and tomorrow, if I remember correctly. Andrea Burkholder and Sharon Whitting are Arachne Aerial Arts, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a sort of suspended ballet, an aerial ballet. And they've got a show about gentrification. They put it together using original music from a guy based in Detroit. His name's Alvin Hill, and they met for the first time just last week. You have two performances this weekend of what I suppose is best described as a sort of aerial dance. Talk to me a little bit about the idea that gravity is something that you can play with in ways that you can't on a traditional stage.
Well, it kind of started, Sharon and I are both trained as modern dancers, and we both just wanted to become more and more physical. We saw the circus arts as a way to become very strong and physical, but we also felt like as dancers we were always trying to work on how we can approach artistic subjects and social ideas. And so we started to just think about how can we combine this idea of greater physicality with our dancing. We started training in the circus arts. Then with this idea of gravity, I think it's just when you relieve yourself of having to be grounded, you also start to think, well, I can approach any kind of idea that I want and start to take a different point of view for that idea. And that's a lot for us with this piece about displacement and luxury lofts coming into the city and development. Kind of, okay, let's take different perspectives, not just people getting booted out, but also people coming in, revitalization. So even though all of those don't have to be from an aerial perspective, just that we could come into the air allowed us to see things from different viewpoints.
And if I understand you correctly, this was originally meant to be more of a site-specific piece, yes?
Mm-hmm. That's correct. I think that as aerialists, our perspective really does shift a lot. And when most dancers go into a new space, they look at the ground. And the ground kind of informs what they can do. But when we go into a space, we immediately look up.
Yeah.
And when we first thought about this, this idea of displacement, the crane was a really powerful metaphor for us. Couldn't happen this time, but we are planning on being in a theater and utilizing the theater in a very different way.
You mean you actually wanted to perform suspended from a crane somewhere?
Yes. That was the goal.
It was close. It was very close.
And someday we will. And
we will.
What stopped you? I mean, what got in the way?
Regulations.
UN Solus Nua. Talk to me a little bit about the music that you've put together for this. You've worked previously with recorded music, right? And this time you've got music specifically composed for you by Alvin.
Yes.
And it was a fun process. Most of the time when I work with people, I work with people that are outside of the Detroit area, which is where I'm from. And so it's a process of sending sort of sketches back and forth so we can get a feel for where each other are at and sort of pulling it together from there.
Yeah, and as Alvin would send a little bit of music, we'd start to send him, well, here's some thoughts on movement ideas. And if we didn't have the movement recorded yet, we would just talk through with him. Here's what we want to see happen, and hope that would spark some ideas for him musically. And so the more he came up with music, the more we came up with dance, and then finally he was getting pretty rough sketches of the full evening work, and then putting all of his sketches of the music together. So it's, and then Alvin just came in Wednesday, and we've really finished it up and put the finishing touches on just these last couple days since we've been together and able to rehearse in person.
All right, well, I won't say break a leg, but...
We'll break nothing.
Yeah. All right.
Except gravity.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's Arachne Aerial Arts. They're performing tonight, Saturday night the 22nd at 8 p.m. And there's another performance tomorrow night, Sunday the 23rd of July at 6 p.m. They're on the Woolly Mammoth main stage, so check the venue listings over there in the left-hand column. And thanks for watching. For the Washington City Paper and Fringe and Purge Video, I'm Trey Graham.